What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review live from St. Louis, Missouri tonight. And a lot going on in the show today. I got to say, a lot of newsworthy stuff going on Dynamite tonight. Okay, so let's get right off to the start of it. We did kick it off with Jungle Boy versus Matt Hardy. It's not much I can really say about this match. I know they did have, Darby Allin watching in the back and Sammy Guevara as he's, making out with Tay Conti and everything. Basically, trying to do the whole four pillar thing and stuff. The match itself, it was what it was. I know Ethan Page got involved, and then they said send Hook out there because Jungle Hook and all that. Which they ended up fighting to the back. Jack Perry ended up hitting his what did he like a big running elbow or whatnot to the back of Matt Hardy's neck to get the win. So it was just to give Jungle Boy a win, all right? Because I was like, why is he facing Matt Hardy? Because it's like we barely ever see Matt Hardy wrestle on the show in general or really do anything right now, especially ever since Jeff, until ever Jeff gets better. But the match, it was what it was. But basically, what really matters is what happened after the match because MJF came out. Basically, he didn't appreciate his bar mitzvah being interrupted last week. Fans started trying to shut the fuck up. MJF said no. He talked about Jungle Boy and how they're going to be in his backyard next week. Well, MJF's backyard of Long Island, New York. MJF basically talked about a match they had back in 2020, and they would become rivals for a long time. And you remember what I told you, right? And tell them that nice guys always finish last, all right? And Jack Perry went on to say that told him you could just ditch your friends and not care about anyone else. But MJF basically went on like, let's look at the list of people you've been around. Marco Stumpgrove or Dino Douche or well, I know where he got that from. Good stuff, by the way, by MJF. But Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, and even Hook right there. And it's not going to be any different. But MJF said, we could take AEW together. We can have it all. Because right now it's the MJF show. It could be the Jack Perry show also. Okay? Because you're just still a Jungle Boy right now. And basically, Jack Perry basically went on to say, I wish I didn't care and be a narcissistic piece of shit on the entire planet. And basically said, that's not me. But he said he's going to beat you. He said he's going to beat him for that AEW World title. And, you're going to see yourself in the mirror then. And I like what MJF said, finally, good job. It took you 4 years to cut a good promo. Well, shit, he's not lying about that because hearing a Jungle Boy promo is really rough to get through half the time, okay? But MJF basically, give it up for Jungle Boy, everybody. He learned how to talk now. He learned how to talk, all right? But let's talk about your, hot-ass piece of a girlfriend, Anna Jay, and said, she told me that you are, weak in between the knees. Jungle Boy ended up attacking him then. MJF did, poke him in the eye, but Jungle Boy ended up taking him down and ended up hitting his finisher, leaving MJF in the ring on the ground. So, good promo right there, especially from MJF that obviously carried this whole promo in general. But I did enjoy it. Obviously, I still think it's going to be some fatal four-way at Double or Nothing for this, four-pillar thing for the AEW World title. I still think Darby Allin is like the only really credible competitor there, if you ask me. But like I said, it's going to be a fatal four-way. Omega and Don Callis were in the back. Don Callis said he lost his balance, basically slipping. And, why'd you assume Page, took me out and everything? But Callis says he's going to find Hangman Page and apologize for everything. So, obviously, Don Callis doing what he can to, get Moxley to leave the Elite or something like that. Why I say Moxley? I got my names wrong here. Looking at the wrong thing. Don't know why. But yeah, Omega, I guess, to get rid of the Elite. Wow, I messed my words up right there. But yeah, just to leave out from them. They had some video package with the Acclaimed and Everrise. I guess Everrise trying to show them, give them, the finer things in life and this nice meal and go to a St. Louis Blues game and, just show them everything backstage and stuff. And, why they should join the Jericho Appreciation Society. They said they're going to have their decision next week. Dalton Castle and the boys came out as basically they're supposed to go against the Blackpool Combat Club. Basically, they end up killing these guys out there, beat them up before the match even happened, and then beat them up when the match happened. So, basically, Blackpool Combat Club, like I said, these guys are heels now. I'm going to get to that in a second. But right after that match, Hangman was being interviewed after happened last week. And Matt Jackson is legitimately hurt right now, or like a partially torn bicep. So we don't know if he's gonna have surgery or not, but he is legitimately hurt. Callis showed up, trying to apologize and everything, but Blackpool Combat Club came out of there, started beating the hell out of Hangman then. And then Mox ended up dropping Callis to the ground, even stepping on him, and then he was bleeding then as, they basically continue on to the destruction. Next, it was Kenny Omega versus Jeff Cobb for the IWGP US title. Before Omega could even go out there, Tony Schiavone told him that Callis and Hangman were beat up. But Omega knew he had to do this match right now. Now, I know they did show some video packages, at least a little video package back from New Year's Dash. If you don't really know the story of what's going on in New Japan, obviously, come on, Kenny Omega did win the IWGP US title back at Wrestle Kingdom against Will Ospreay, and then Jeff Cobb did call him out at New Year's Dash. It's just been a few months now, and if you've been paying attention to the New Japan Cup, don't know if a lot of people have, basically Jeff Cobb said he was going to be here to go for that title. Okay, so I wish this would have had a little bit more build, because at least, this is for the U.S. title, and Omega's been holding on to that belt. So I wish this would have got more build in the, quote-unquote dream match last week, folks. But listen, I talked good about that match last week. Still wasn't a dream match, though, so I'm not still going with that narrative. But Kenny Omega having his Devil Sky theme from NJPW was cool to hear. I enjoyed this match. This is when Omega actually shines, when he's a singles competitor. Yeah, it may not be over in New Japan, but when you think about this, it's certainly an NJPW match because it is for the IWGP US title. This is why I like Omega better as a singles competitor. So this is one hell of a match for him and Jeff Cobb. I enjoyed this. Crowd was definitely into it also. I think Cobb was going to win in a way, maybe, but obviously Omega's still going to be holding on to that belt for a minute. I don't know who else they could send from NJPW to face Omega, because Omega did end up getting a one-wing angel after the V-trigger to beat Jeff Cobb, because I thought Cobb's actually about to take it with that Tour of the Islands right there. But who could be next? I don't know. Maybe Sonata, but that's if he beats Okada for that title on the 8th. I don't think that's going to happen. David Finlay, I know they're giving him a big push right now, being the quote-unquote Bullet Club leader, but I don't know who else from NJPW they could send in next. But one hell of a match, though. I did enjoy this. But right after the Blackpool Combat Club came out again, Bryan Danielson returned. He's been gone for a few weeks. He looked like he was going to help Omega, but because he told the rest of the Blackpool Combat guys to stand down. But as he helped them up, fans were chanting yes. But then they ended up hitting him with his big running knee and then put a crossface into the yes lock, label lock into Omega and making him tap out. Next thing you know, they start sending security and knocka, get the hell off my TV out there. And basically the Blackpool Combat Club, which is what they need to be, just running around, kicking everyone's ass and beating the hell out of them. With Danielson being back, I almost said, like, you sure these guys are heels right now? I'm not going to go into the whole Moxley Punk thing and whatnot, because that's a story for another time and stuff, which... Rocky 3, everybody. Rocky 3. Didn't want to lose to him. But other than that, yes, they are heels, which, like I said, it was a little bit hard to tell if they were heels and that. But given that they're going against the Elite, obviously the fans are going to look at them as faces, and the Blackpool Combat Club as heel, because it was really hard to buy the Blackpool Combat Club as heels at first, because they beat up the Dark Order. Who gives a flying fuck, okay? It's the Dark Order. Like, who really cares? That's why I'm like, how are they heels? But now with Danielson being back, the crew is back together now. It's not like they needed another member, but this whole thing is complete, and I want to see what happens with the Blackpool Combat Club since they've beaten the hell out of everybody now. They're straight-up ass-kicking Machines. Gun Club was talking about FTR because the title match is next week. If FTR loses, they will leave AEW. It says it took an FTR 19 years to get where you are. It only took them 2 years to get where they are, and that they're going to retain the titles next week. Orange Cassidy went against the Butcher for the AEW International title. Thank God this match wasn't at the beginning of the show. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care, okay? Like, I've seen enough of this. I guess now they're trying to say that, maybe all these title defenses are catching up with Cassidy now. Listen, man, I already thought it was ridiculous when he beat Big Cass, Morrissey, and beating Jay Lethal out there 2 times. And I don't care what anybody says. I'd rather have had Jeff Jarrett take the damn belt just to get some heat. I don't care. I wouldn't have even been mad last week if Jeff Jarrett won the title. I'll give him credit for doing what he could to make that thing as interesting as possible. One would say a lot of Memphis booking, but I was to the point where it's like, dude, just put the title on Jeff Jarrett. This shit's just ridiculous every week now. So I don't really care. I was making food throughout halfway through this match anyways, but come on, we already knew what was gonna happen, and run-ins and the best friends and whatever. Um, Jay Cargill and Mark Sterling and them, and whoever this other woman was, and Layla Gray talking about Taya. Which, by the way, 3 weeks of Taya on Rampage and not even on Dynamite, and both of these women haven't had a segment together. Also, it's kind of funny when Jade wants to say, "You stole my finisher." Both of you stole the finish from fucking Beth Phoenix. So, like, what do you mean? Who stole what? You both stole it from the person that's in WWE right now. So, I think that's hilarious. And now I guess they're going to send another legal order or something. I don't know. Mark Sterling, man, this guy just manages everybody around. I don't know sometimes. Like, he's just everywhere. And honestly, I don't know where this is going to go. But like I said, Taya 3 weeks of Rampage. Juice Robinson cut a promo on Action Andretti. I honestly did not care. I'll give Juice Robinson some credit. He's got Tony Storm, so I ain't mad at that, because it was Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale. Tony looks like the cake is coming back, because it looked like a cake disappeared. My friend Steven pointed that out. Had to look close, but the match with Ruby and Willow wasn't bad. Willow definitely over, I will say that. They were in the death spot time. I'll say that about this match. Honestly, the story is all over the place and inconsistent. That it's like, dude, I don't really care what's going on half the time. Ruby got the win, and then they start doing the fake NWO thing and trying to put Willow's leg in a chair and get the spray paint. Next thing you know, they send Rio, which for once they didn't send her out with a lead pipe, which the pipe looks bigger than Rio, and Sky Blue, which honestly, this is the reinforcements you sent. Yeah, you wanted me to buy into that. And here's what's kind of crazy: if the pipe looks bigger than Rio, then the Outcasts or whatever wouldn't have had a hard time taking her out. Well, they had Willow with her, so that's a little bit of a difference. But now they can take her out because she has no pipe in her hand. So I don't know, but then got a weapon. You know where I'm going with this. But here's another thing, because then Jamie Hayter, which we finally see, we haven't seen her in weeks. I'm surprised Baker wasn't with her. Ends up taking out all of the Outcasts. Which, here's the weird thing about it. So you're putting this random ass women's title match next week with Jamie Hayter and Rio. First off, why does this Rio even have a title shot? Jamie Hayter hasn't been seen in weeks. What Rio just got beat up by the damn Outcast people out here, but Jamie Hayter ended up taking all of them out by herself. Really think about that for a second. And Rio had help from Sky Blue, and they couldn't even still take them out, but Jamie Hayter took out by herself. So why is this match like, dude? Who wants to? Why? Why? It makes no sense. Hobbs video aired with QT. At least it wasn't QTV this week, but whatever. I don't know why QT is still with Hobbs. Adam Cole making his in-ring return with Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia having some new music out there. Don't know who it's by, but it sounded cold out there. Cole making his return, though. Good match. Got the Panama Sunrise. Got the last shot and ended up winning the match. So Adam Cole being back. Britt Baker came out and celebrated with Cole in. And gold confetti went everywhere. But I guess hey, Baker doesn't want to be in that inconsistent bad storyline with whatever going on with the women's title. So now go support Cole. Chris Jericho's music hit then as fans started to continue to sing when the music went off. As he helped Garcia, he kept looking back. He never looked at Cole, but he kept looking back. Near Cole. So obviously it's going to be Jericho versus Cole at some point, maybe at the next pay-per-view. So I guess we know what Cole and Jericho's next feud is going to be against, each other, which I kind of thought Jericho and them were going to be going against the House of Black, because let's remember the last time we saw Jericho, last week, Canada, was it 2 weeks ago? No, last week in Canada. You'd think they still be going after the House of Black, but I guess they moved Jericho to something else. But a very newsworthy show, like I said. Adam Cole making his in-ring return. Bryan Danielson returning after a few weeks and, join up with the, he's already with Blackpool Combat Club, but now they're all heels. I enjoyed Omega and Jeff Cobb for the IWGP US title. MJF's promo was really good. I'm trying to see what else. Jamie Hayter being back. So, pretty good stuff on this show. Obviously, it's a lot of wrestling shows in the next few days, and I mean a lot of wrestling shows coming up. Okay, like, come on, I'm not obviously gonna watch Rampage. I will watch Supercard of Honor though, because that looks like a really good card for this Friday. But like I said, we got a lot of wrestling coming up this weekend. Okay, come on, tomorrow we got a live episode of Impact. Haven't seen that in a while. We got the Multiverse of Madness later on that night. You got Supercard of Honor on Friday. You got SmackDown if you want to watch that on Friday. Maybe the Hall of Fame right after. What else we got? Of course, we have Stand and Deliver. That's Saturday in the afternoon if you want to see that. And of course, you have WrestleMania 39 on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I'm going to review all these shows. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a very long-ass weekend, okay? But other than that, I am out of here. I will see you guys then. Peace out. Subscribe. I already said subscribe. So, yeah, other than that, peace. Find me on Twitter, Hood Knight 890. I'm out. Subscribe.